Hey everyone, welcome to the Bible Belt Bros podcast.
All right, Dusty, did you do that because we just talked about being quiet?
No, I just do it because I don't know what else to do anymore. I have no creative thought process here.
Well, it's because you're thinking about it now. You just did it, and I would make
just
fun of you, and you'd never think about it. Now I said something, you always think about it.
And well, I think about it, and then I'm kind of like, as I'm doing it, I'm trying to think, what could I spin it to? Nothing. But welcome to the podcast. We are back. It is the end of February. We're actually in a fire wind watch today.
Yeah. Red flag watch.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's like super windy.
I had a lot of posts to check up on yesterday up north because the Bartlesville area has been hit with fires, and the Ochalada, which is kind of south of Bartlesville.
Was it last year, the fires in Manford?
Yes, it was last
So
year.
that was last year. Yeah, so we had the fire, like we've had that pretty close to home recently, I guess. Yeah. I remember thinking, man, if that keeps coming, I'm going to have to leave. I mean, it was still pretty good distance away, but those things spread pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, 15 miles from you or so?
Yeah.
And you are surrounded by woods, so, yeah, you had a lot more to worry about than...
Yeah, it's woods all the way up here, basically, once you get past the water. And I was like, please don't get past the water.
And then just half a mile north, it's houses and no more woods. So.
Exactly. Well, Andrew, you've been inspired.
Yeah.
You've been inspired actually by me, maybe just by technology, but man, you were just on fire with a topic today. And you are like, I want to get it.
Yeah,
the Lord has been teaching me things.
So Dusty and I video game, and we were video gaming yesterday, and I got angry. And
you want to tell the whole story? You want to just relive the...
No, I don't.
Can I tell it? Because I told other people in game randomly that I talked to. I was like, you never guess what happened, man. We were playing. We're doing this thing, and it's a game where if you die, you lose everything you have. And so Andrew grinded for hours to get this special...
A full day
to get this special tool to be able to try to get a high score on a task. There's like a competition that goes on, and so you're trying to get a score better than, I think at this point, this last one is 60 people we have to beat within our class that we're in to be able to not get demoted, and we get the prizes at the end of the season, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so we're doing this, and it wasn't going great because it's one of those things where other people are trying to do it too, so you're like competing with live people with a limited amount of resources to try to get it done. Andrew likes to push the time limits and constraints. No, don't you let me say the story. Andrew likes to. I mean, the amount of times that you have to extract by a certain point. There's a countdown timer, usually 30 minutes if you're lucky, and we've hit that countdown timer with less than a minute multiple times.
90% of the time.
Yeah, and I have missed that countdown timer a few times as well in previous weeks of doing these trials, and so. Andrew, we're running back. We actually had plenty of time, and then we just got demolished by all this arc. Our players both go down, but we're able to crawl and hit the button in time. But Andrew, because he had to bring more supplies, brought something that his health deteriorates fast, and mine doesn't deteriorate. It actually regenerates. And so I'm chilling. We push the button in time. We're good to go. And then as we are... getting in, Andrew's like, oh crap, my health is gonna die. And literally not even 2 or 3 seconds too late, his player dies, loses everything that we did, all the points that we gained for that round, loses every resource he has to try it again, and the Discord call disconnects.
And so did my PC.
And I was like, well... Well, he's gone.
Let's fix a couple of those points in there, Dusty.
He's not happy.
Why was I in that position?
Oh, you're going to blame this on me.
Why was I in that position?
Because you didn't rotate earlier. You made me run back to you to give you ammo. I was already at the extract. I was there and I came back.
You were there at like 45 minutes left in the game.
In a 20-minute, yeah.
No, I had to stop because you got downed. And so I was going to go back and pick you up. And then I realized the time. And I was like, oh, shoot. But I had stopped and waited long time. And I could have easily made it to the extract, but I was trying to wait on you, and I was going to pick you up so we could both make it out of there.
And I could just crawl myself.
Yeah.
You didn't realize I had the thing on that made my health regenerate.
Well, or you have the perk of crawling faster.
That too.
That I didn't realize. So
Andrew's going to blame me. Now he's mad at me for his last minute. Let's just shoot two more.
But
let's just shoot two more.
But yeah, my the bar to get out of there is so it gives you a bar. I don't know how many seconds it is, maybe 5 seconds, but it's a bar to show you how much time. Actually, it's 7 seconds. I do know. It was completely full. That's what made me mad, and that's why I got off, because the bar was completely full, and I still died.
And on my screen, you still had health left, but it does go down faster when you're crawling, but it wasn't showing that it was
and
down.
at that point, I wasn't crawling. I was typing.
Yeah. You were typing it out. Anyways, Andrew left, and we were going to do some other attempts to other different types of trials, and Andrew just disappeared for the night, and then that inspired your...
Tried it. So instead, I got angry, and I know that's not right, so I started listening to some sermons, a few Stephen Furtick, and then another guy that I don't know who he is. His thumbnail caught my attention. It was on John 8, which is what we're talking about in house church. So I wanted to kind of prep for next week's house church, and so I was going to listen to John 8, 12 to 30, which is Jesus' story. In that, it was recapping the prior week of the Pharisees and people of the town were going to pick up rocks to stone and throw them at Jesus to stone him, and they turned around and he disappeared. He was just gone. He walked away. That came up with our topic, when to walk away. And so yesterday I walked away because I was angry and I didn't want to say anything or do anything. I just didn't want it to fester and boil, because obviously that's not right.
And when you texted me the topic, I just LOL'd it.
Yes, he did.
Because I wanted to be like, when to walk away is when I'm like, let's go ahead and go to the extract. And you're like, we got 5 minutes left. And I'm like, I'd rather... Because
we made it to the extract in time. You were just getting shot at by a hornet and 2 wasps, which drained your health and knocked you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do I go after him or do I go push the button? Plus, I had this massive bastion in front of me. I didn't have space because I had to bring everything, because I am the one who grinded for everything because somebody else didn't get on to grind.
I got the secret grenades in the wolf packs. I did that in like 20 minutes. So yeah, when to walk away. You walked away when you just felt like, nothing's good's coming from the situation. It's just a video game. Why am I so mad?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at other times when Jesus walked away, or other people in the Bible walked away.
Before we do that, we've also had a friend who didn't walk away. Well, he did walk away, and then he bought a completely different gaming console so he could not play with us.
I feel we've told that story numerous times, so shout out Blake. When I was a medic, or when I was going through training in the military, one of my instructors was a tanker medic. So he rode in a tank. He was a medic with the tankers, and they were in a fight in Iraq, and one of the tanks caught on fire. It received heavy machine gun and RPG contact, and it just caught on fire. And he ran in and out of that tank to pull out his team. And one thing that he told us is that if you stay in a burning vehicle too long, you become the next casualty. And so that's kind of where this is. If I had stayed in that, there could have been, I would have been probably the next casualty, because I could have said something I would have regretted, or done something, or, it was just a bad situation. So I had to get out of that situation. But let's look at sometimes when Jesus walked away. So Mark 1:35-38, I'm not going to read it. Y'all can pull out your Bibles.
Sing it if you know
Pull up Mark 1:35-38. Say got it when you got it. Anyway, so Jesus, after healing tons of people, everyone is kind of looking for Jesus. And then the disciples basically say, Jesus, they love you. stay here. You're trending right now, to put it in modern terms. And Jesus says, nah, let us go somewhere else. He walked away from the popularity, from the momentum, from the demand. When he was at his highest point with that crowd, he just walked away. And so why? I don't feel that is something. If I'm trending in a crowd or in a group right then, I'm not gonna walk away. If I'm getting laughs to my jokes, things like that, I'm not walking away.
Well, in today's culture, like if you get any kind of success, like you end up like the best thing to do is to double down because you don't know how long it's gonna last. Like we watch streamers and YouTubers, and if they all of a sudden like kick off, and it's a momentum thing. If you stop doing posting and you stop doing these things, you trend downwards. But if you double down and do it even more, you're gonna trend even.
Right.
And so we're constantly like any kind of success, we need to keep moving forward, always advance, always advance.
So can you tell Dusty and I are nerds? Because everything comes back to gaming.
Well, it's just because this is how it started. But yeah. It started with gaming.
So why did Jesus do this? To me, it's because his assignment was greater than the applause. His assignment wasn't to stay there and to keep gaining popularity in that crowd or to increase his social status. His assignment was to be somewhere else. So sometimes walking away isn't quitting. It's protecting your calling. He was called to be elsewhere. He knew that, so he walked away and went somewhere else. Mm-hmm. There was a story in the Bible when Jesus let, I think the numbers are around 5,000 disciples walk away. That's right, guys. There's more than just 12 disciples. There's more than 13 disciples because later on we get a 13th. I think it's Bartholomew. Maybe not. I forget. Anyways,
don't fact check us.
Right, don't fact check that one. But in John 6 and verse 66, so it's John 6:66. After the "eat my flesh" teaching, a lot of Jesus' disciples left. They didn't like what they heard, and they just left. What you see here is Jesus doesn't rebrand his message. He didn't soften it. He didn't change his tone. He didn't chase after those disciples that left. Matter of fact, what he did is he kind of doubled down, and he turned to his 12 and said, do you guys want to leave too? Do you want to go with those 5,000? Long story short, they didn't. I mean, I feel we've seen that they didn't just leave him.
They didn't walk away.
Right. But Jesus let those other 5,000, I think it was over 5,000, leave. And so here, Jesus is really saying, if you have to compromise your message or compromise who you are, or compromise your soul, it's not worth it. You're not called to compromise. You're smiling. Do you have something to say?
No, I'm going to say, if you keep saying, I'm going to punch you in the face. Edit those
I'm just giving you a lot of edits. I'm giving you something to do, some grinding of your own.
This is payback. You're paying back all the work you had to do. And like, well, listen, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible for you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
True friendship.
Yep,
right there.
yep. Another Jesus moment, Mark 13:58. He did not do many miracles there because of the unbelief. That's the verse. I actually did read that one. Sorry. There it is again. I actually noticed it. You broke the glass, Dusty. He didn't beg for... This is when Jesus was in his own hometown. He went home. He's preaching to people who saw him grow up, people who know his mom, know his dad. And so those are typically the people who... are the hardest to convince of something. People who know your past. We have a friend that you probably don't know the story, but he doesn't want to go to our church because one of our pastors he used to party with, and he doesn't realize the life-altering change that Jesus provided this pastor, and so he just knows what he grew up with.
He's judging his BC life. Right.
And that's what we see here in Jesus' hometown. The people who knew him, who saw Jesus grow up. And, we don't know how Jesus was pre, starting his crusade and his...
Ministry?
Ministry, yeah. Yeah, ministry would be the word. Before starting his ministry, we don't know what he was like as a child. Maybe he was rebellious. He wasn't rebellious. Maybe
he rebellious.
Right.
He's a goody two shoes that everybody hated.
Maybe it could have been that. There we go.
Jesus' brother is like constantly going. His mom's going like, "Why can't you be like Jesus and just do your homework? Like, why can't you be like
Right.
Jesus and clean your room? You know,
Right.
like 'cause Jesus is freaking Harry Potter. His
Right.
room is clean automatically. Yeah,
Yeah, or maybe Jesus was, walking up to his neighbor being like, I saw what you did.
he probably was
As a 6-year-old.
confrontational
Yeah.
as far as like constantly speaking up. He did that in the tabernacle or in the temple
In a synagogue. Yeah,
when
the
he
temple.
was like 12, when he left his parents and
Right.
stuff, and he was got in a quarrel with them. A quarrel.
Right?
I watched too much UK stuff. Got in a quarrel with his parents over him being about his father's work, and constantly. Yeah, so I'm sure what could be as rebellious was more on mission because he wasn't really rebelling against.
Yeah, so we
Maybe.
see in Mark 13 that they didn't believe Jesus. And so he didn't beg for for their validation in his own hometown. Instead, walked away.
He broke the wrist and walked away.
Break the wrist.
Break the wrist, walk away.
All right, let's do one more Jesus moment,
Okay.
and then go on to other people. So Jesus stayed silent and let it be before Pontius Pilate. We know the story. Jesus gets taken to Pontius Pilate so that maybe Pontius Pilate would find him guilty of Roman laws and the Romans would execute him. And Pontius Pilate is questioning him, and Jesus was just silent. He didn't try to defend himself over and over and over. And so sometimes walking away just means not arguing.
Yeah, that's why I'm not having to defend myself. I know I'm right. I knew I was fine. Go hit the button, Andrew. Just go hit the button. You got out
of there because I hit the button.
No, I was at the button for you. Anyways, I'm breaking the wrist. I'm walking away. I'm breaking the wrist.
Yes.
I'm walking away.
So sometimes walking away means not arguing or not defending, not explaining yourself to people who are just committed to misunderstanding you, which is, that Snow podcast with Dusty and I, when I kept saying, no, Dusty, that is not what I'm saying. You break the wrist, you walk away.
You should have walked away.
So then let's, all right, Jesus, you've given us a lot of examples. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you, man. Let's move on to Jacob and Esau. This is what I was listening to with Stephen Furtick, a couple of sermons, actually, that I just randomly scrolled and tapped them, and they just happened to be sequential. I was like, well, this is ironic.
Did you pray for patience and then God sent you me?
Probably.
Is this what happened?
Probably.
Okay, fantastic.
So Jacob and Esau, Genesis 33. I just went blank, Dusty. Jacob stole Esau's birthright,
Oh, gosh.
right? Yes. Yes. Okay. And after years of bitterness and betrayal, Jacob returned home expecting Esau to be mad, to the point where he separated his convoy, all of his belongings, his wives, his concubines, his sheep, or his farm animals, his material. He left half of it on one side of the river, and the other half went with him to to see his brother, not confront, but to see his brother Esau. Mm-hmm. And they didn't, and they reconciled. Jacob was really scared that Esau would try to kill him, because the last time Jacob and Esau were together, Esau was yelling, "If I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you." And Jacob ran away. He ran away. He walked away because there was an imminent threat. So there's another reason to walk away. If there's an imminent threat, walk away. But then they separated again. They didn't move in together. They didn't pretend that nothing happened. They didn't try to force proximity with each other. No, they forgave each other, and then they created space. So reconciliation doesn't always require restoration of closeness. Sometimes walking away just preserves your peace, and it preserves your relationships with those who they may have been strained with. So we see that they had a very strained relationship. They came back together and they separated. They walked away from each other after reconciling so that there wouldn't be a strain on it again. Because we may know that, yeah, I forgive you, but we know that event still happened. And in the back of our minds, that event is still going to be lingering. And you may harp on it more, although you've forgiven them and you want to get past it. Our nature is not to let things go. Our nature is to harp on it, to think of it, how it hurt us, and how we can prevent that happening again in the future. It's self-preservation. We see Genesis 13. Abram and Lot, they separate. They had too much tension. There were too many people, too much strife. And Abram just says, let's not quarrel. Let's separate and preserve our friendship. That's kind of what it was yesterday. Let's just separate with me and preserve. That way I don't get into this blame game of, Dusty, why didn't you move quicker? Or
I'm like,
why didn't you help
hey,
more?
it finally happened to you once, because this happened to me playing with you multiple times.
This is true. Dusty is typically the one who doesn't make it.
I always
and
die
typically
first in the
dies.
video games, okay? So it's nice to get one. All right.
So sometimes distance prevents division. Right there with Abraham and Lot, and so and also Jacob and Esau.
And then you still came over to my house the next day.
That's right, because this is still more important than a video game.
Even though I was trying to be like, you want to play video games instead of podcast today?
Yep.
You said never again.
Yeah, that's right. No. Let's move on. Kind of the point of the story here is the Bible is filled of times in which people walk away to preserve, for different reasons, to preserve life, to preserve friendships, to preserve family relationships, to get away from dangerous situations, or just because the focus is in the wrong spot. Like we saw with Jesus and the crowd, they were trying to lift Jesus up, put him on a different pedestal, and he's like, no, whoa, that's not what I'm here for. And he walked away to go on to his next mission or his next calling. So lots of different reasons. And I have more. I'm going to spare y'all, and I'm not going to go keep going down my list of reasons because I feel we've already covered all the reasons. Mm-hmm. Well, not all, but most of. And if there's a reason that you guys think that I missed, and we have Facebook, you could just type in our comments on any platform you're on. We'll see it eventually.
Andrew will see it eventually. Yeah, it might be a couple of weeks.
Right? I think the last one was 6 months we let it go 6 months.
All right, Andrew. I obviously didn't do any research for this like you did. I just wanted to keep bringing up you dying in a video.
That is
game
our
and getting
relationship, is you don't do research or grind
All right.
and I do it.
We'll be prepared to apologize here in just a second, because I did grind for you last night. Wait, we'll leave it in. I did play a video game for you last night for 4 hours or so. So I got 3, 6, 9, 12, 24, 28 snitch scanners for
Nice.
you. So if you wanted to try it again with your buddy old pal, well, you could try it again. I know your time is limited.
Well, so is yours.
But apology is
There. Accepted?
no
Extended?
What? Are you apologize? You saying I don't grind for anything, and then
gotcha.
I just did 4 hours last night.
Thank
for
you, Dusty. I
There you
appreciate
go.
that.
And it wasn't out of guilt, because I just knew that would suck.
Yeah, that was, and honestly, it didn't quite happen how Dusty and I got back into the lobby. I was kind of accepting it, and then I opened up my inventory and realized I lost everything.
Yeah, you said, and now and then that's when you.
And then
disappeared.
click, instantly my blood pressure just shot out of the roof. Which actually, it turned out to be a great thing too, Dusty, because I've been neglecting a lot of stuff at home anyways. And so I did get a lot of work done. I finally got an outlet wired that I've been trying to do for months.
Lisa, you are very welcome. That anytime you want me to make Andrew rage in a video game, just let me know. I got you. That's funny.
It was. And I was like, okay, well, and obviously I spent a lot of time listening to sermons yesterday and listening to Audio A, because for some reason I'm back on an Audio A kick. And it was actually a great time yesterday.
I get down. He lifts me up. I get down.
Which is funny. I told you Wednesday I was listening to Audio A, and you started singing that, and literally that's exactly what was going through my ears at that time. I was like, oh my, that's the one song. Funny. Audio A's put out 1 million songs because they've been around 1 million years, BC Jesus. And that's the one song Dusty chose, and it happened to be in my ears.
All right. Well, thanks for... I bet
are you walking away?
I'm walking away.
Yeah, Dusty wanted to walk away from this morning's podcast, and I said, nope.
Thanks for listening to it anyways. And liking and doing the things that people do when they listen to podcasts that's supposed to help them grow. You know, we just appreciate that. So maybe next time I decide to purposely make Andrew mad, we'll stream it. Everybody can watch the joy.
Speaking of streaming, Dusty,
Everybody
I know
can
you're
watch
trying to.
the joy of the.
I know you're trying to close us out, but speaking of streaming, Dusty and I have been. Well, we've had one conversation in which I just said, "Hey, maybe Dusty, we should do a live stream and take the audio from the live stream."
Hey, Andrew, you don't know how much work that is to do it right.
I mean, I know Dusty has to grind for something, and so guys, we are thinking about something like that.
Nope.
We are.
Nope.
And if you really want it,
I had a
Bible Belt Bros on Facebook. Just tell us.
Oh, I had a cousin that he was like 8 or 10, and he got a camera for Christmas, and he was making videos for the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is my first video, guys. 10,000 likes, and I will post another video." And then the second video was 1,000 likes, and I'll post another.
He kept going down.
That's what I feel like. 10,000 likes, and we will do a live.
One comment on Facebook, and we will do a live stream.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Take it easy.